Good afternoon. I want to talk to you today a little bit about tennis. I have a number of clients who play tennis. Many people who love to play tennis are older, and so it's more important for them to balance their body, have good posture, and come to their tennis matches in a good position so that they can continue to thrive and last longer. Some common issues people who play tennis have are shoulder problems, foot and ankle problems, lower back problems, and elbow problems. But I wouldn't say most people that have tennis elbow are tennis players anymore. So today we're going to go through 6 exercises you can do for your posture to set yourself up to be successful at your next tennis match. I call the posture activities attivitas because I have like an Italian theme because I'm part Italian. Anyways, the first attività is straps. So you're going to get a strap, yoga strap, packing strap, any strap that doesn't stretch, put it around your thighs with about a fist worth of space between, and then lie on your back with your palms up, big toe pressure, and you're going to press out pretty firmly on the strap. Try to keep your back and your stomach totally relaxed while you do it. Exhale as you press. Inhale as you do nothing. And you're really just using your hips to create balance. So they're in the strap, they can't get out of it, lots of force, no movement. Your body is forced to create balance because it's not going to push both hips over one way unless you're having a very serious problem. So by doing this about 20 times, you can actually balance your pelvis out along with the next attività that we're going to do. And if you feel like you got the hang of it, you can press pretty hard. Always keeping your big toe pressure, maintaining a steady, even breath. Almost done. I got like 3 more. And then we're going to set our strap aside. So we're going to get a big pillow, rolled up towel, couch cushion, yoga block, a laundry detergent bottle with the lid closed. Anything that's 3 to 6 inches wide that you can squeeze that will keep a little bit of its width. Big toe pressure, back stomach relaxed, hands out, palms up. And we're going to do the Flexor Press. It's the second one. And this is going to target your hip flexors. Your hip flexors are super important postural muscle for your pelvis and your low back. If your hip flexors aren't working together, eventually it's going to lead to some kind of back or hip problem. It's the only set of muscles that traverses from the upper body to the lower body. There are a number of compensations that can occur with the hip flexor. And so giving them a little bit of attention can be super helpful, even if you're not just stretching them. Using them the right way, taking a little time to connect with your brain map will do a lot of good for you. And just do about 20. If your back and stomach are staying relaxed, you can press pretty hard. You're obviously going to feel it in your adductors too. And between the flexor press and the straps, you can add a lot of neutrality to a person's pelvis. I mean, it's pretty safe for pretty much anybody. Number 3 is going to be crossed foot winding. So we're going to lie on our back, get our hips in our hands, make sure our hips feel as even as they're going to get. Keep your hips even, cross your ankle onto your thigh. Keep your hips even still and press your knee away from you any amount. But don't let your hips get out of an even spot. And then you're going to pay attention to your foot that's up high on your knee, and you're going to turn your toes around, big circles, using your toes as much as possible. Try and get about 10 each way. You can go through it kind of fast and try hard, or you can work your way through it slowly. It can be helpful both ways. By twisting the ankle in such a thorough fashion, you can really activate many of the muscles around your ankles and calves and shins that you wouldn't normally activate, like just walking around without any priming of the muscle. And anytime you're using a tissue, a neural connection,
with focus, you're going to increase the strength of that connection. So, a lot of people are disconnected from their feet, switch directions, because they wear thick, hard shoes all the time, and desensitizing that region can really rob the low back and the hips of sensory information that provides you with stability. So feet are just super important to wind your toes, wiggle your toes, walk around barefoot sometimes. Uncross your foot, cross the other ankle over, keeping an eye on your hips with your hands, making sure they stay nice and even. And then press your knee away and begin your circles with your foot, winding it around, curling your toes around the bottom, spreading over the top, getting in about 10 each direction. And as a tennis player, having that additional ankle stability is going to help you accommodate the impact of those hard lateral forward-backward movements. Great job. And then we're going to do one called full twist. Number 4, we're going to start on our side with our knees up and our hands out. Hips are lined up, knees are lined up. Keep them like that. You're going to open up, turning around, letting your arm either dangle or rest on the ground. And this is obviously stretching out our back a little bit, but what's great about it is it allows our spine to twist in a kind of passive way on top of a pretty neutral pelvis. So by letting it rest into gravity that way, it's going to kind of open up in a more connected way and can help the nervous system be more aware of twisting with more recruitment, defining the brain map related to those small little muscles between every vertebrae. And we'll bring it back nice and slow. Hands together. Flip over the other way. Hands out in front, knees up. We're going to open it, keeping those knees tight together. Look right at your hand. Deep breaths, exhaling all the way. If you want to get a little deeper into your lumbar, you can stick out your butt a little bit in that position. I'm sure you heard it the first time, but just now when I stuck out my butt a little bit, I got an additional adjustment right at the base of my spine. Not quite as loud as that first time. And then we're going to close it. And then we're going to lie on our back. Okay, this is number 5. We're lying on our back, hands out, palms up. If it's your first time, I recommend putting one hand on your belly and one hand under your lower back. And you want to squeeze your glutes, your butt, as far as you can go with your back and your stomach totally relaxed, and then relax your butt and your glutes in slow motion. then it got really quiet because I was concentrating on letting my back relax, because I haven't done this since I did legs earlier today. And you should be applying a similar amount of focus, really paying attention to allowing the glutes to be independent, not involving any muscles at the back, low stomach, neck, feet. Building that independence, increasing the connection of your brain map with your glutes. And the reason this is so important is because if you don't have a good spot in your brain map for your glutes, if it's not a good connection, you're going to compensate. You're going to use your hamstrings, your QL muscles above your hips and your low back, the middle of your low back, your erectors, to mimic proper hip extension, which should be created by the glute, by rotating your pelvis more. And that'll work just fine, for some time, and it's even necessary when you're traveling at certain velocities. But if that's your default and it's the only thing you can do, your body's going to continue responding to that until it becomes more of an issue and you're having inflammation and pain and possibly even some lower back injuries and pain and all sorts of stuff like that. But if you just lay down and you squeeze your butt like 20 times, protects you from all that. And if you're about to go play tennis, it's going to help set your pelvis, help you keep your spine braced, and help your hips support you in that stance that you're spending so much time in. We got one more. We're going to stand up.
Now you want your hips on the wall and your shoulders on the wall. And if your lower back comes off, that's totally natural. It's probably never going to touch naturally. And if you have an especially large posterior, you can bring your heels off the wall slightly, and that's going to make you a little bit more comfortable. Anyways, heels, hips, shoulders on the wall. You can bring your knuckles up so that they're resting on your temples. Like if you had glasses, you'd grab them between your first two fingers or take them off for comfort. But your hands are right there, thumbs pointing down. You bring your elbows from the wall forward, trying to keep your upper back in some way touching the wall the whole time. Opening back up, possibly pressing into the wall with the sides of your elbows, and then bringing your elbows towards each other again. We just want to do this about 20 times. Spending a little time like this on the wall is going to help our body respond to a vertical load. Gravity travels better through the body. Your bones are stacked, so you receive more support from those structures, less stress on the muscular system, less energy spent, more efficient, more athletic. Having the hands just so, with the elbows moving just so, is causing all your interscapular muscles and your rotator cuffs to help manipulate your shoulders and your shoulder blades, and it's helping your neck stay relaxed. Many of us are sitting, watching TV, working, whatever we may be doing while sitting, and it's causing our traps to spend more time holding our arms up, and they can become dominant, tight, not work very well as a team with your shoulder blades. Especially if you're getting into kyphosis, back is bent, all sorts of stuff like that can happen. So you do that about 20 times, and you're ready to go. There's all sorts of other amazing stuff you could do, but that's a quick 6 things. You could probably do it in less time than it took me to talk about it and doing with you just now. It's something that'll serve you forever, so you can just continue to do it every time you play tennis and be more prepared. If you want to spend more time, I'm going to show you a bonus activity. So get your tennis ball or your lacrosse ball, harder one's a lacrosse ball, and you can use this either before or after you play tennis, or just generally on a regular basis to release muscles and open up knots, helping your body be more mobile and responsive to your activities can be very helpful. So you can put this anywhere. You can put it, a lot of people who play rotational sports have a really tight lat. Now this is going to be a really intense one, but it probably super needs it if you've never done anything like that before. So you're going to put it on there, find a muscular spot that feels kind of intense, and then you're going to stay on it for 2 minutes. You just take deep breaths. If you can't breathe, that's a cue that you're probably not ready for that spot. If you're having any sharp pain, any nerve pain, also not a good spot. Look for those dense muscles. Feel intense when you press on them, and what you're really doing is you're just giving them a stimulus that they can't ignore. So after about 75 seconds, they're really going to start to relax. So by the end of 2 minutes, you'll be like, wow, that's really different, and it'll stay different for a while. It'll be more responsive to your activity. You can put it there. You could put it here. You could put it anywhere along the muscles down the side of your back, not directly on your spine. You could put it in the muscles in your shoulder blade. You could put it in the muscle along your neck. You could put it in your hip, under the side of your piriformis. You could do it anywhere on your glute. You could do it above your hip, on your low back. You could do it on your calves. You could do it on your calf, controlling the pressure, increasing it with your other foot. You can use it anywhere muscular. You just gotta wait about 2 minutes to get that long-lasting beneficial effect. Rolling it back and forth can feel good, it can get you started, but it just doesn't work as good as doing it for the 2 minutes. So you could do that, just pick one spot before you play, one spot, any time of day, making it kind of a habit. You could do more than one. One thing to look out for, if you do it a whole lot and you just love it, you might get sore like you worked out, and that's a cue to give it a short rest and let it heal up, because you are causing a pretty intense change in the muscle tone, so it can cause a little bit of fiber damage, just like when you're weightlifting or playing a hard game. So that's a whole bunch of stuff you can do to help yourself be better at tennis, last longer, and feel great while you're doing it. If you really enjoyed it, I hope you'll like and subscribe, share the video with someone else, practice it daily, give it to your mom, whatever you need to do. Consider joining my mailing list and managing your posture more generally, as I present it as part of the Brio Method. Thanks for watching.